Hi, we are group number 7 and we have the volcano Krakatau. Yes. And okay, so there are different types of volcanoes, and the 4 main types of volcanoes are the fissure vent, which comes from the constructive tectonic plates, and they're made of mainly basalt rock, and therefore it also has a low viscosity. And then there are the shield volcanoes, which are broad and wide in shape, and they're also made of basalt rock, and they therefore also have a low viscosity, and that can be seen on the shield shape of it, because the lava just runs out to the edges and therefore doesn't make it taller. And then we have the strato, or the composite type of volcano, which is a tall and slender volcano, and it has a high viscosity, and that is why it's so tall, because the lava, what do you call it, strato? It just stays on top because it's not thin, so it doesn't run down. And then we have the caldera type of volcano, which is the explosive type, and it also has a high viscosity and a large magma chamber, and often there is very much pressure inside of the chamber. Yes, and you can see the different types of volcanoes here. They're illustrated very nicely. And over here there is a table of the different types of rock and the viscosity of it, the temperature, the amount of silica in it, which is also important for the viscosity. And then the lava and the magma. And the viscosity of the lava and magma depends on these 4 things. The rock type's chemical composition, which is mainly water, carbon dioxide, and silica in the magma. Or yeah, that's what the magma is made of. And then the pressure and melting point, the temperature, and the content of water and other gases. And down here you can see a chart of the different types of rocks and their amount of for example, silica, and a major part of magma is made of silica. And the lesser the silica, the lower the viscosity, and also the other way around. And why volcanoes rise? That is because of the tectonic plates on the asthenosphere, such as the constructive tectonic plates that we can see down here. They part from each other because of the hotspots underneath, and therefore it can also create volcanoes because of the magma that rises to the top. And this type of constructive tectonic plates can be seen on Iceland. And then we have the destructive tectonic plates, where there are 3 different types. There are the oceanic and continental plates, where the one with the highest density subducts under the one with the lowest density, and therefore the one with the highest is melted away because it goes down into the lower, or more in the middle of the earth. And this creates volcanoes. And then we have the 2 continental types of tectonic plates, and they create mountains, where also again the one with the highest density is also subducted into the ground and is melted, but that does not create volcanoes. And then the two oceanic plates, where they also subduct, or the one with the highest density subducts under the one with the lowest, and this creates underwater volcanoes, which can create icelands. And then we have the conservative tectonic plates that we have down here, and that's just two plates sliding against each other, and it doesn't create volcanoes, but it creates a lot of earthquakes, and it can be found over here in America, around California, I think.
With the San Marino drift.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, and then eruptions. Eruptions happen because of the level of magma rises in the chamber due to pressure. And the magma, when it comes out of the chamber, it turns into lava. And then we have the VI, which is the volcanic explosivity index over here, which indicates how much power the volcano has. And sometimes when a volcano is about to erupt, it can create smaller earthquakes to warn people. Yes.
Krakatau. Krakatau is an island located in the Sunda Strait between the islands of Java and Sumatra. Those islands are in Indonesia. But the original Krakatau collapsed after an eruption in 1883, causing also two other volcanoes to collapse. Krakatau is known as the Fire Mountain by the locals. An eruption in 1883 killed over 36,000 people, but in some sources it is said that it killed more than 120,000 people because of the power of the eruptions and the tsunamis caused by the eruptions. The eruption had the power of 13 times the nuclear yield of the little boy bomb that devastated Hiroshima, Japan in the Second World War. The loudness of the eruption would have made everyone deaf within 16 kilometers, and the average temperatures fell 1.2 degrees Celsius, and the temperatures went back to normal after 5 years. The eruption wave rounded around the globe 3.5 times. What type of volcano is Krakatau? Krakatau is a caldera volcano, and therefore it has a high viscosity, and it collapsed because of the eruption, which created a crater. Anak Krakatau, or the Child of Krakatau. The Child of Krakatau rose from the water in 1927 after a few smaller eruptions. Here you can see how the islands of Krakatau looked in 1883 before the eruption. Also, you can see here what it was after the eruption, after two other volcanoes were destroyed and half of the other volcano. This is an image of the islands in 1927, and here the Child of Krakatau has risen from the water. And Anak Krakatau is also the current location of volcanic activity. Current activity. Anak Krakatau is grown at an average rate of 13 centimeters per week since the 1950s, and the island is still active. There have been minor eruptions since 1994, and a tourist got killed and 5 more injured by an explosion in 1993. Scientists monitoring the volcano have warned people to stay out of a 3-kilometer zone around the island. The last eruption was in the 22nd of February 2017. 100-meter wide lava dome is growing in its crater, and the dome has 2 active vents that eject incandescent gas. Geographical setting. Indonesia has over 130 active volcanoes. Most of them are between Sumatra and Java. The Krakatau is directly above the subduction zone of the Eurasian plate and the Indo-Australian plate. They are oceanic plate and continental plate that causes the beginning of the volcanoes.
Yes.
These are the used links, and thank you for watching.